A very warm welcome to all of you to our virtual advisory board meeting. Antonio has asked us to say a few words about COVID-19, which has definitely changed our life, and not only in 2020, but will have consequences which go far beyond this date. We all know it affects us personally, it affects our business, and it affects the society in which we are living. In order to cover all aspects in 5 minutes, it is quite a challenge and demands to limit oneself to the essential. The first one, how does it affect COVID-19 you as a person? Well, having spent 2 weeks in intensive care and 3 weeks in a rehabilitation clinic, I can only say one thing. This virus is very aggressive, at least for my age category, and it wants to kill. I have seen that personally while I was at the hospital. So my advice, be careful and respectful. And for the time being, social distancing is the best prevention that we have. I am confident that we will have a vaccine late 2020, and the first application will start early 2021. But it's also clear there will be a clear priority for health service personnel before we can get access to it as our normal persons. The second point is, as a businessman, safety and security of our people has to come first. And the second one is that continuity of fulfilling our purpose is important. Especially, of course, if you are in the first necessity companies working, like in the food and the beverage and the detergents and the home care and so on companies, to assure that we have a continuous supply of those essential products to consumers is very, very important. The other question you can ask yourself, can I fulfill my purpose in other ways to help society in this critical moment? We can be innovative. It is a typical example of the auto industry producing blowers, or the textile industry producing masks. The other very important aspect is try to keep as many people as long as you can employ them. Unemployment is going to be one of the most difficult societal challenges that we will have, not only for now, but for many years to come. And in the middle to the longer term, I think we all should look whether we cannot strengthen the resilience of our activities. Not only the financial, which is very important and has proven to be critical, but we also can rethink our value chain. How much outsourcing do we really need? Is just in time the final solution, or is it better to have a certain stock available so that we can continue if something happens to my supply chain? Insourcing and more vertical integrations are certainly aspects that in any strategy discussion will not be missed. Third, as a society, let me say, never in history, with exception perhaps of the 2 world wars, has mankind created voluntarily so much economic damage. That's unique. And the main reason is because we were not prepared. We didn't hear the warning voices. I remember Bill Gates in 2015 stated that viruses are a much greater threat to humankind than nuclear weapons, for example, but nobody heard him. We have ridiculized scientific opinion when the first signs of the pandemic appeared. It's fantastic to look at some video which were taken from our politicians in February, where they were laughing and saying, this is just another small virus, we don't have to care about it. And this was in February. And finally, once we realized that this had to be taken serious, we took dramatic actions. And putting the world economy to a standstill is quite a dramatic action. I think it is impossible to ignore the devastation on the lives of hundreds of millions of people on the 5 continents. Famines and resurgence of other diseases loom. It is feared that the number of the pandemic's indirect victims will ultimately be much higher than the number of deaths directly caused by the coronavirus. It is the responsibility of states to protect their citizens, and therefore they have to assure the preparedness of disasters, especially when those disasters are foreseeable but perhaps not dateable. Governments all over the world have clearly failed in this responsibility. And an old truth is coming through again. The less prepared you are, the higher will be the cost afterwards. My last point, a global crisis needs a global response. This every man for itself attitude will not be helpful to get out of this crisis, and only multilateral cooperation will allow us to find the necessary balance between saving lives and assuring a healthy economy. Thank you very much, and we are all looking forward now to our board meeting.